Alright guys, welcome to another video. Before we dive into this guys, you know the usual drill. If you're new to the channel, watching for the first time, please consider subscribing. So smash the subscribe button, do it for me guys. If you're already a subscriber, hit the notification bell guys, hit the bell, because if you don't hit the bell, you'll not know the next time I post new content. And if you did like today's video, like, share, and get these videos out to YouTube universe guys. We are doing well. And thank you for that. That's down to you guys, alright? So let's just dive into this. Should you cry as a man? Should you cry as a man? Is it okay to cry as a man? Guys, the reason I want to go into the topic, alright, and I'm specifically going to refer to the recent incident, right, that happened at the heavyweight title fight with the Usyk and Anthony Joshua. It was their second fight, alright? And I had to make this content. It's quite important to discuss this, alright? So, what happened at that fight? Obviously, Anthony Joshua lost that fight, okay, as I thought he would have lost the fight, because this guy's like just leagues above him, is my personal opinion. And Anthony Joshua did something unheard of. Anthony Joshua just started to suddenly behave in a really weird manner that never been done before. Post fight, you know, when they're talking and speaking in the ring, he goes and grabs the other opponent's microphone as he's being interviewed and walk around, and then he starts this kind of self-confessing emotional rant, okay, as I like to call it, and then he walks out. Now, number one, he's shown disrespect, okay, to his opponent, because he's taking the mic off him. He was complimenting him by taking the mic, but you have to show respect as a man to another man. That is not manly behaviour. That is not alpha behaviour. That is not high value behaviour that he displayed in doing that. Then he starts talking about his past and, you know, where he came from and all this kind of stuff. Guys, his behaviour was totally emasculated behaviour, alright? And the reason I'm saying that is he didn't carry himself like a high value male, especially in the public eye, and especially being in the public eye, and especially being a high profile boxer where millions of people are watching you. You have a responsibility to conduct yourself professionally. Certainly, you also he has a responsibility for himself to conduct himself as a masculine man, and those behaviors that he showed were absolutely pathetic, guys, and it did not show masculine behaviour. And the reason I made this video is it's a complete perfect example of why you guys on my channel need to look at this behaviour. Play the boxing match back and learn not to do this, and build on what not to do as a man, because Anthony Joshua showed really emasculated behaviour, okay, feminine behaviour, feminine traits, okay, that he couldn't control his emotions, right? Understand he was under all this pressure and he'd lost the fight the second time, but unfortunately that wasn't showing masculine behaviour. That wasn't him holding his frame. That wasn't him being non-reactive. He just lost it. And he was he had no control over his emotions, alright, which leads to the point of this video, okay. Then later on at the press conference, right, he's talking, he's getting asked all these questions, and he goes further into feminine mode, and he goes further into low value mode, crying like a baby, crying like a female that's not been taken out to a restaurant or a dinner by her boyfriend, okay. Now, guys, the point of this video is it okay for men to cry, or should men cry? As an example of Anthony Joshua and his example, no, he should not have cried, because He's in the public eye, obviously, and he should be holding control of his emotions. You should, as a man, be in control of your emotions, guys. And I've talked about this before, right? This is what this channel's about. You need to be control your emotions. You need to start controlling them, right? And he had no control of his emotions. As I said, what he did in the ring, and then he starts crying in public. And I just thought, this is just really feminine behavior, okay, right? And to answer the question, is it okay for men to cry, guys? I'm not saying be totally unemotional, right? But what Joshua did, right? Um, he had no control of his emotions, right? And crying in that situation is not acceptable as a man. Is to answer your question, no. In that situation, as I said, I'm not saying you need to be unemotional, but it is okay to cry under certain circumstances, right? But most of the time, I would say no, not as a man, not as a masculine man, not as a high value man. And people that watch my channel, I'm hoping that's what you want to be. That's why I started this channel. We can do it together. That's why high value men wouldn't behave in this manner. And guys, yeah, you can cry at some points in your life. My father was a very, very, very masculine alpha male type of guy, and I never saw him cry once in his life, guys. And he faced a lot of tough situations, a lot of tough times, dealt with a lot in his life, and I never ever saw that man cry. Par one occasion, which is personal, and I won't mention it, okay? But throughout the rest of his life, I never saw him cry, no matter what tough times are. And this is the way you should be as a man, guys, right? So what Anthony Joshua showed at that press conference was he was low value. Really, he was effeminate. He showed feminine behaviors. He showed emasculated behaviors. Okay, he didn't hold his masculine frame, which you should have, because that's not the time to cry. Yes, certainly, guys, if you are in personal situations, don't. I'm not saying you have to be a total robot or unemotional. If, like, you lose a really, really close relative, right? God forbid that happens. I hope that never happens to anybody, but say you lose a parent or something, which has happened to me before, guys. I've lost my father, got over 15, 16 years ago, and yes, I was emotional. Yes, I did cry. So yeah, you can cry as a man in those situations. If you lose a pet that you're really close to over 20, 25 years, you can show some emotion, but not unnecessary emotion where you don't have control of your emotions in unnecessary situations like Anthony Joshua did on television. All right, this is what you don't want to do. So there's certain situations, yes, it may be okay to cry as a man, but you don't want to make this a habit. It shouldn't be part of your character, right? It shouldn't be part of your character. You shouldn't want to do it. Contrary to what the narrative is telling you, right? And this is why most men nowadays are beta males, because they've been conditioned and programmed, guys, to be told to show the emotions through, whether that's through Hollywood narrative programming, whether that's through the film, whether that's through, I've got to watch certain things, whether that's through the narrative of female empowerment, and generally from the narrative that you get in films and television. Just generally what's being pushed out there is, yes, control your emotions, get in touch with emotions. It's okay for you as a man to show emotion, cry. You should. Guys, that is the wrong thing. That is the wrong message that is getting put forward, and that's why a lot of men have now become beta males, okay, because this is being pushed on them. It's not necessarily their faults, guys, because they don't educate themselves. They don't watch channels like mine. They don't watch other channels out there, okay. So in Anthony Joshua's situation, very low value, very beta male behaviour, guys. Absolute beta male behaviour, crying, and the conduct he showed, and couldn't hold his emotions, moped around the boxing ring, grabbing the other opponent's microphone while he's being interviewed, cutting his conversation off, and spilling out his guts about his life and where he came from. Nobody wants to know that, Anthony. Okay, you need to behave like a masculine male because you're in the public eye, and you certainly didn't do that. And you started weeping and moping at your press conference because you lost. You could have held it in for another 5, 10, 15 minutes and then went and wept in your locker room or at home, or giving your mother a hug to console you. So guys, yes, it is okay to cry, but in the situations I've explained, and you don't want to make a habit of it like Anthony Joshua. So don't use this example, guys, of this is an example of what not to do. This is an example certainly of not a situation where you don't want to cry. But as I said again, you don't. I'm not telling you to be emotionless. Yes, be in touch with emotions, guys. But as I've always said, have control over your emotions. Have control over that. If you don't have control over your emotions, you don't have control over yourself. Other people will have control over you. So you need to be in complete control as a man. So with that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got some value out of this one. All right. I hope that's helped you. Please take this advice on board, because men are becoming weaker and weaker and weaker, guys. This is not the correct thing to do. You need to fix every facet of different aspects of your life, your physicality, your finance, get your money up, and obviously your personal development, which means self-examination, okay, and self-work, inner self-work, and that's where controlling your emotions comes into play, and being non-reactive. And that's another quick point I want to make. Anthony Joshua was very reactive, and that's not a thing a high value male does. That's very beta behavior. Beta males are very reactive. They react like little bitches. Okay, so I'll probably get a strike for that. Guys, with that said, hope you got value out of it. I'm going to leave it here. And we've had a couple of new subscribers, so thanks for that. That's amazing, guys. Let's get this channel and get it going, guys. Let's keep putting the volume up. Give me some likes, guys. Give me some comments. All right, I really appreciate it. And support my channel, okay? Because I do try my best to get these videos out. Sometimes I do them very, very late at night. Sometimes I do them when I've had a long day and I'm exhausted, but I'll still try and get the valuable content out for you. Let's grow this channel, guys. Okay, with that said, guys, till the next one, hope you enjoyed this one, and Shiraz out. See you in the next one. Remember to watch out for the next video. Thanks again. See you soon.